up here?
I have no idea.
Caspian!
Edmund.
It's great to see you.
Netflix just gave the thumbs up for Chronicles of Narnia 4. And get this, they've got Greta Gerwig, the director of Barbie movies, leading the charge. Remember those classic Chronicles of Narnia books by C.S. Lewis? Well, they finally hit the big screen back in 2005 with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It was a big deal, especially with Disney backing it. Directed by Andrew Adamson, it did a switch from Shrek to Narnia. It became the shining star of fantasy adaptations post-Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter frenzy in the early 2000s. So after the success of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, we got Prince Caspian, which didn't quite hit the same heights at the box office. It was darker and maybe not as family-friendly, so it didn't rake in as much cash. But hey, they didn't give up. They followed it up with The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which cost less to make and managed to stop the downward spiral, bringing in a good chunk of change. Fox, the new distributor, was probably doing happy dances. Overall, it was a profitable move that gained influence over time. Now, acclaimed director Greta Gerwig is taking the reins for a fresh reboot of the Chronicles of Narnia. It's all coming together, and before you know it, we'll be settling into theaters to watch the silver chair unfold on the big screen. If you're not familiar with it, let me introduce you to The Silver Chair. It's a captivating children's portal fantasy novel by C.S. Lewis, first published in 1953. Part of the Chronicles of Narnia series, it's actually the fourth book out of 7 in the original sequence, or volume 6 in more recent editions that follow Narnian history. Illustrated by the talented Pauline Baynes, her artwork has adorned many editions of this timeless tale. In The Silver Chair, the story unfolds in the magical world of Narnia, years after the events of the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, yet only a short time has passed in England. Eustace Scrubb, now a changed person after his adventures in Narnia, meets his schoolmate Jill Pole at Experiment House, where they're both having a tough time. Jill has been dealing with bullies and is trying to avoid them. Eustace shares his Narnian experiences with Jill, explaining how they transformed him. But Jill warns him that sharing such tales might make him a target for the bullies too. When the bullies close in on them, the two stumble into a gate that leads them straight to Aslan's country, setting the stage for their next adventure. As their adventure kicks off, Jill's daring antics lead to a precarious situation when Eustace tries to pull her back from the edge of a cliff, only to accidentally tumble over himself. Luckily, Aslan comes to the rescue, whisking Eustace away to Narnia on a magical breeze. Once reunited, Aslan entrusts Jill with a crucial mission to help Eustace locate Prince Rilian, who's vanished years ago. He gives Jill 4 signs to aid them on their journey before sending her flying into Narnia, where Eustace eagerly awaits near a grand castle. From there, they witness an elderly and frail man setting sail from the harbor, marking the beginning of their quest. To Eustace's disappointment, they soon discover that the frail old man they saw sailing away was actually King Caspian himself, and by failing to greet him, they missed the first sign. Despite less than a year passing in their world, a whopping 50 years have elapsed since Eustace was last in Narnia. They find out that Caspian embarked on a voyage to revisit the lands they once explored together in their youth, though many Narnians believe he's seeking Aslan's guidance on who should succeed him as king. Caspian's health is visibly declining due to old age, raising concerns among his people about his longevity. Lord Regent Trumpkin, now aged and hard of hearing, arranges accommodations for Jill and Eustace in Cair Paravel. However, they wisely heed Glimfeather the Owl's advice and keep their quest under wraps. Summoned by Glimfeather to a gathering of talking owls, they learn the grim truth. Prince Rilian vanished years ago while on a quest to avenge his mother, who was slain by a monstrous green serpent. Jill and Eustace find themselves in the marshes of northern Narnia, where they meet Puddleglum, a marsh wiggle who's more on the gloomy side but steadfast nonetheless. Together, they set off toward the giant lands to the north. Along the way, they endure hunger and harsh weather until they encounter the Lady of the Green Kirtle, accompanied by a silent knight in black armor. She convinces them to head to Harfang, the castle of the gentle giants, promising warmth and hospitality at their autumn feast. Despite Puddleglum's reservations, Jill and Eustace are enticed by the idea of comfort and eagerly agree to go. After a grueling journey and narrowly escaping a treacherous snowstorm, they arrive at Harfang. From the castle, they realize that they had unwittingly passed through the ruins of a giant city during the storm, missing Aslan's second sign. They also spot the words "Under Me" engraved on the road, which is the third sign. Their peril becomes clear when they discover they're the main course for the autumn feast, prompting a swift escape from Harfang. Following the sign, they seek refuge in a cave beneath the ruined city, only to inadvertently tumble into Underland. The trio is discovered by a group of Earthmen who dwell underground, and they're taken across the sunless sea to the city ruled by the Lady of the Green Kirtle. Though she's absent, her apprentice, a young man, welcomes them warmly. He reveals a troubling secret. He suffers from nightly fits, during which he must be bound to a silver chair to prevent him from transforming into a deadly serpent and causing havoc, as ordered by the lady. Sensing a clue to their quest, Jill, Eustace, and Puddleglum decide to witness the young man's ordeal firsthand. However, they soon realize that his ravings actually hint at a desperate plea to break free from his enchanted prison. After many appeals, he implores them to release him in the name of Aslan. Recognizing this as the fourth sign, they reluctantly comply, believing he might truly be Prince Rilian. As soon as he's freed, he destroys the silver chair, revealing himself as the long-lost prince kept underground by the Lady of the Green Kirtle as part of her sinister scheme to conquer Narnia. As the Green Lady returns, she tries to ensnare them all with her bewitching magic, but quick-thinking Puddleglum stamps out her enchanted fire, breaking the spell. Enraged, the lady transforms into a green serpent, revealing herself as the very creature who killed Rilian's mother. With Eustace and Puddleglum's help, Rilian slays the serpent, bringing an end to the lady's reign of terror. Freed from her spell, the gnomes and Rilian's party escape from Underland. Guided by one of the gnomes, they find their way to the surface, where they reunite with King Caspian just as he returns home. Caspian is overjoyed to be reunited with his long-lost son, but passes away soon after. Rilian is then crowned King of Narnia amidst a sorrowful yet hopeful crowd. Aslan appears to congratulate Eustace and Jill on their success before returning them to the stream where their journey began. There, they witness the miraculous revival of King Caspian as Aslan's blood flows over him, restoring his youth. Aslan assures them that although they must return to their own world for a time, they will one day come back to stay in Aslan's country. In their world, Eustace and Jill stand up to the bullies at Experiment House, bringing about positive changes at the school. Meanwhile, in Narnia, Rilian mourns his father's passing, but leads the kingdom into many happy years ahead. However, wise old Puddleglum reminds them that life has its ups and downs, and good times can't last forever. Well, that's it for today. What are you most looking forward to in this new adaptation? Are there any specific scenes or characters you're eager to see brought to life on the big screen? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest news and releases. Thanks so much for watching our video today, and we'll see you in the next one.